Okay, Kayana, this is the beginning of me of making caramel. This is 1 1/4 cup of sugar and a half cup of water. And what you do is you just kind of shake it around until you see most of the sugar dissolved. Because once it starts boiling, you do not want to touch it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it on and I'll be back. Okay, notice how clean the sides are. You don't want sugar all over the place because it crystallizes. Okay, so keep your pan clean. Okay, the boiling activity is just starting. Just starting. But you'll notice it'll get clear in a little bit. Okay, showing you how it's getting more and more clear. Remember, do not agitate it. Don't move it. If you agitate it, it crystallizes. You don't want that. Just let it come to a rolling boil. I have the fire on about a medium, but the more important is keep your fire up under your pan. Do not have it where the fire is licking the side of your pan, because it'll burn on the sides, and you don't want that. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I'm showing you where now it looks like the sugar is predominantly all melted, and you'll see that it becomes really clear. Okay, I moved the pan around. What I did was I kind of turned my pan around to let you seem like it was cooking only on one side. You just want to make sure you see that full. If you notice, it's a full boil all the way around, and that's what you want. All right, so this is going to cook for about, oh, I never time it. I want to say 8 minutes maybe, but I generally can walk away. But once it starts browning, it goes real fast. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm coming back to show you. See how the bubbles are getting smaller? They're going to go from big giant bubbles to smaller bubbles. That means the water is now evaporating, where it's only going to be the sugar so it can caramelize. There used to be a time I would do what they call a dry caramel, where I would work straight from sugar, no water. But this is pretty much a foolproof method. You don't have to worry about the hard work of doing a dry caramel. Okay, bubbles are small. I'm about 4 minutes in, and this is what it's still looking like. Okay, it's probably even further than 4 minutes. I should have been timing it. That way it can give you a better gauge. The next time I'll actually put a timer to it. That way I can actually give you a time. I don't know if you can see it, but I can kind of see the color changing just a touch. Just a touch. You can't miss it when it do start. When it really does turn visually on the camera, you'll be able to see it. Yeah, I can just see it changing. Okay. Okay, giving you the further. It's been still another 2 minutes or so. Still cooking. Gotta be patient, but it's worth the wait. It's well worth the wait. Caramel is one of those things. It's easy to make, but it's easy to mess up too. So it's all about being patient. Definitely don't stir it. I'm not sure if the video will kind of give an idea of the different stages it's going through, because now the bubbles are gotten fat again. I did turn it up just slightly to help it along. But what I love is see how the whole thing is boiling. And remember, I told you it goes from white to amber really quick. And my trick is I look for it to somewhat resemble the color of a penny. That's the best description I have, but I'll be able to put it on video in a minute when it does start to turn to that color. And if it's too light, it don't taste caramely enough, if that's a word. And if it's too dark, it's going to taste burnt. So it's really a perfect balance that you're looking for. Okay, I'm going to give it a little more color. And look at the little bit of sugar that hit on the side. It probably popped up during the boil. You see a little dot in the background. That has already started to caramelize. But that's what I try to keep from having on the side of the pan. If you notice, the rest of the pan is pretty clean. But you got that one little dot. I can't get too close because it's very hot down there near that caramel. Alrighty, I'll be back. Okay, actually, we're getting to a brown. See on this side where it's browning? Here we go. Me personally, I use a spatula. This is a rubber spatula, and I don't use anything metal. I either use this or a wooden spoon. Okay, as you see, it's darkening up. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, it's starting to caramel. Now I'm going to watch it through the camera. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, it's still carameling. It's starting to get where I want it. I'm starting to smell it. Now, because it's carameling, you can do a little bit of a shake. What you're doing is pulling in that from the edges, the darkness. Okay. I like it darker than this. I've slowed my fire down just a little bit because I want to control. I don't want it to jump from white to just black all of a sudden. I want to give it a, I want to make sure, and since I'm filming, I want to be real careful. Okay, I like it darker than this. Alrighty. Starting to get a little happy with the color now. Alright, I'm going to turn the fire down just a little bit. Alright, it's ready. Now, 1 cup of heavy cream. Watch what happens. Okay. You're going to get a boil up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move it off the stove just to give it a minute for off the fire rather, not off the stove, but just to give it a minute to kind of calm down just a little bit, because it's so hot that when you go to stir, it's going to release steam. Okay? And this is the place where you just slowly. All right. Now, what I do, this almost looks perfectly colored. Me personally, okay, I'm going to set it back on the fire. And hold on, I want to scrape my bowl. Hold on. Okay, what I did was I scraped all of the, I made sure I cleaned my bowl. That's what I was doing, because I like to get every bit of it. All right, so at this point, it's really done, but I like to boil it a little bit longer to make sure that it has a good caramel flavor. But as you see, it boiled up. You just want to be careful at that boil up. That's the danger part, because that steam can burn you. All right. As you see, it's already dissolved. There's no, I don't feel any, no solids from the sugar. It's all loose, but I'm just making sure. All right, that's a perfect color. So now I turn it off. All right, turn it off. Stir, 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 just to make sure it don't boil up no more. Okay, hold on. Okay, you don't have to, but I add just a touch of vanilla. Okay. Stir that up. You can add salt to make it salted caramel. You just put in a pinch of salt. But for me, this is all I do. This, my dear. And remember, that was 1 cup of heavy whipping cream because I like it rich. You can use a cup of canned milk. The thinner the milk, the thinner your caramel. All right, so I'm going to let this sit. And once it sets, because it's got a lot of cooling to do. Once it cools, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, right now it's in its caramel container. This is what I put it in. And it's still cooling. I'm about to clean off the sides because I did just pour it in. All right, but I'm going to show you when it gels up. Okay, I just want to show you. I had put some in a bowl to cool down. And this still is not completely cool. So this is another state. See how it's still dripping? All right, I'm going to show you just how caramely it does get. Because right now it's still very loose. But I'm going to show you. Okay, this is the cooled caramel. It is now cooled. And of course, I keep it in the refrigerator so it gets even really loose. And it tastes phenomenal. I did taste it and it is the perfect taste. Homemade caramel, baby. Very easy. Okay, one more. That's caramel. Like I said, it's, as it sets even more, but that is caramel. All right. Good luck. Bye.